Shalom, shalom. Once again, here to do another lesson. Praying that this lesson is edifying. As always, we want to begin by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Raha HaKodash. Double honors, as always, to the apostles, the elders, the bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the 144,000, the hopeful elect, the scattered, the confusion of faces. As this thing continues, we recognize that Christianity is pushing hard again, attempting to push their muddy water doctrine on the world, teach the world wickedness and lies disguised as a good thing. Push all kind of madness, as we all know that we're coming up on the time when these people like to celebrate what they ignorantly call the birth of Christ, and they push this madness like it's something righteous and good. But we all know differently. Those of us that the Most High has allowed to wake out of this vile sleep that we've been a part of, and this is something that we had to learn. But I'm gonna just, because of this day that's coming up, and also Salakia, I just want to say Shalom Shabbat, being that this is the Shabbat. We know that the Sabbath is monitored according to the moon cycle, the moon translating to month. We know this devil has sought to change times and laws, and this is something that he's already done. It's not something that he's considering doing, something that he's done already. And the whole world follows after it. So we've been given back understanding, enlightenment, truth, and what the true will, the heart of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai is. So the water, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the water. But just because this has to be touched on, and this is why, Christians' big thing is what? Stay under the Old Testament. Don't go in the Old Testament. It's not, the Old Testament is done away with. No, and there's no such thing as Apocrypha. But as you can still clearly see, and I'm going to change this one. Let me go back, Salakia. I want to... You're not going to do it right, are you? Stop it. Let's try. Gotta love when I wanted to switch. Okay, here we go. I think that one's it. Primary, yeah. Salakia. That was me hitting the wrong one. NLT, that's what I wanted. Now let's go back. Yep, there we go. So, all you holiday lovers, that call yourselves, celebrating this, that birthday, it's for the babies. That's a load of crap. It's for you. It's what you want to do. It's just another way how you push your own wickedness on the world and the children, And you think there'll be no judgment for that, but, man, give it time. Give it time. So, for those that have an ear, as the scripture says, I'm going to just go over this very quickly, if I may. And it reads, and I'm going to do it in the I'm going to do the King James, but if you're with me, you can read along on either side. And yeah, idolatry brings destruction. That's pretty good. But it reads, "Hear ye the word of Yahweh speaketh. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel." So again, it's not the whole world. The whole world can do whatever the hell they want for now. This is their time to do all of the abominable acts and to get away with everything and to influence, our people to do wickedness, and our people follow after it like nobody's business. But again, it's pretty clear, unless you just don't want to accept it. That's the only way that you can get confusion from this. Because again, hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. So again, he's being clear who he's speaking with. Verse 2, thus saith Yahweh, learn not, learn not, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So the heathens worship the sun, the moon, and the stars. The heathens predict things based on what they see in the skies. This never was for us. We have always had a connection with our Lord, the creator of all of these things. What does the scripture say? You worship the creation more than the creator. And I'll get that in a minute. But again, continuing on, for the heathens are dismayed at them. In verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain. So now here we go, and you people, you literally have to have your eyes closed, be under a rock, or just completely in refusal to see what this is, especially at this time of year. You might use the excuse, I bought mine in the store. Whatever. Whatever. And it reads, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest. So when did, in the early times, before they had the stores where you could go buy them, and even when a lot of them, when you get the real ones, guess what happened in order for you to get that? Somebody went into a forest where they was either growing them already in preparation for this time, or they just went into the forest and got one. This is what they do. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. So here we see what's happening. You know what I mean? Verse 4, they deck it with silver and with gold. I mean, if you're not getting it, it's because you don't want to get it. You know exactly what this is representing. You know exactly what it represents. And you just want to be caught up in your own transgressions, in your own wickedness, in your own iniquity. But it's your lot. That's the part you're not really getting. It's your lot to be in that position, so that, the things that come upon you are going to be completely justified. Continuing on. They are upright as the palm tree. Salakia, let me go back real quick. I didn't get that. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammer that it move not. How do you nowadays, yeah. And again, you people are going to try to, use little stupid ass things to, we use a three-legged tripod now, and whatever. It's still mounted and braced so that it doesn't fall over because it can't stand on its own. So it's fastened with nails and hammer that it move not. And yeah, they decorate it with gold and silver and then fasten it securely with hammer and nails so it won't fall over. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. We're going to get this in the NLT as well. Their gods are like helpless scarecrows in a cucumber field. They cannot speak, and they need to be carried because they cannot walk. Yeah, that's beautiful. So, I mean, do not be afraid of such gods, for they can neither harm you nor do you any good. For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Yahweh, thou art great, and thy name is great in might. And like all through the scriptures, the name, you talking about the laws, the statutes, it's the name. But that's down a different road. So basically, I was compelled to bring this out, and Yahweh Ratazah, every lesson we do all the way up until this point, we're gonna bring this out because it needs to be brought out. It's like it's difficult to understand, but not really. Salakia, not really. You know what I mean? Christianity has taught you guys everything that you asked for. Teach us lies. Don't tell us truth. Tell us smooth things. So that's what you got with Christianity. You got the smooth things that you desired. But again, man, the scriptures is clear. And you can't get understanding on the new unless you have clarity on the old. It's just not going to happen. You can't open, there's no book ever written that you can open half of the book and have understanding. It's just, it doesn't exist. And only the idiocracy of a religion that's false, that uses the Bible as a weapon and not as a teaching instrument, only something of that nature can teach you something like that and you run with it. Because again, it's in your spirit to run with it. That's what you want. It told you what you wanted to hear, and that's all you needed to know. Never mind whether or not you would receive salvation based on that. But, it's just the way of this world, and that's where you guys are at. But the name the title that I would like to name this lesson is So You Love the Lord, but the commandments are done away with. This is your Christianity. They're quick to tell you that the laws of the Lord are done away with. But I'm in the new covenant. I'm in the new covenant. But the new covenant states that the laws will be placed in my inward parts, and I'll never go off again. You're taking that out of context, brother. Yeah, Christianity is literally out of context. The scriptures interprets the scriptures. That's why it says there's no private interpretation, because the scriptures is what's used to interpret the scriptures. Both the old, the apocrypha, and the new. And without the complete sword, you're left lacking. You're left without understanding. You have no idea about a captivity that took place where the people of the Lord were told, under the penalty of death, you cannot declare what you are. You cannot follow the laws, the statutes, and the commandments, or you will be put to death. And our people, some took that death, others went along with what was happening. Based on generation after generation, we have what we have today. But I wanted to really begin with this one. I was compelled to go through that Jeremiah, because man, our people were fixing to run headlong into this vile celebration that they dress up with righteousness, and there's nothing about it that's righteous. It's a pagan ass holiday, and you people are getting ready to run to it and have your all your abominable foods, everything that you're not supposed to do. Your spirit tells you you're not supposed to do it, but that doesn't matter. You know. I know I said I wanted to get this real quick. Slovakia. And we'll come back to this, but I want to get this because it's necessary, because I said it and it needs to be brought out. We're gonna go, to the New Testament, because the Old Testament done away with. This is Romans 1:25, and it reads, "Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affection, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature." And hey, that reads, basically, you're lawless people, man. Lawless, and you do whatever your will is now. That whole Nike, just do it. Everything that you guys do, and you're not gonna turn back. It's not given to you. And it doesn't bring fear to your spirit that's not given to you. You think you're doing your own will, and that's a whole other lesson. There is no such thing as free will. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man therefore know his own way? But that's just roughly paraphrasing. I'm not going to go off on that end, but man, there's no such thing as free will. But this is Psalms 119, starting at verse 133, and it reads, "Order my steps in thy word." So basically that's, let me walk according to your laws, according to your statutes and commandments, and let not any iniquity have dominion over me. And we're going to get the definition of that word, if we can. This is iniquity. Let me see if it'll.
Iniquity.
Immoral or grossly unfair behavior, a den of iniquity, similar, wickedness, sinfulness, immorality, impropriety, vice, evil. So, again, you either, You either a Christian and that's out of context, or you got it. It's just that simple. If you're a Christian, you're taking iniquity out of context, brother. Because everything with you Christians is out of context when it doesn't fit into your little tightly knit ball of wickedness. Verse 134, deliver me from the oppression of man, so will I keep thy precepts. Make thy face to shine upon thy servant, and teach me thy statutes. Rivers of water run down mine eyes, because they keep not thy law. Man, it's the prophet, man, because the people of the Lord, those that were given the law, wouldn't keep it and rebelled strongly against it. And this is why we're in the condition that we're in right now. This is why we've had to suffer the curses that were written of in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And we've had to drink down the dregs of that transgression. But again, as always, the water, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, for bringing us once again out of this thing and into your marvelous light, into the light of understanding. Without that, we'd still wander in darkness right now. But we have been given that gift to come out and walk in the light once again, the light of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And now we definitely we try to stay in that light, because everything outside of that light is darkness. This is 1 John 3 and verse 4, and it reads, whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. And again, it goes against Christianity, because anything that goes against, Christians have everything. You said a bad word, that's sin. Yeah, no, it's not. Most High is clear on what sin is. And Christianity it wallows in sin while declaring that it's a righteous thing. But the Most High, through His Word, has shown us constantly that no, it's not. You're wrong. This is the way I have. This is the way. Walk ye in it. You know what I mean? This is what you should be doing. But our people don't want that. They don't want it. They want to walk in the way of the heathens. They want to follow after the way of their oppressors. If my oppressor can't be saved, I want no parts of it. But you're gonna get exactly what you asked for, though, and then you're gonna wish that you had a part of it, but it's gonna be too late at that stage. Now you're gonna have to get what you got coming. You're gonna have to deal with what you said you wanted, which was, if my oppressor, if the one who has done all these abominations to me, who, if somebody does anything to them, there's no forgiveness. We have a clear example of that right now in the world today. 1,200 versus 40,000. That's not forgiveness. That's not forgiveness at all. That's complete attempt at annihilating an entire nation of people. That's stealing their land, stealing their possessions. I was watching one of them. The damn devil said, if I don't take it, somebody else will. Like, no, they won't. It's stealing. You call yourself the people of the Most High, and yet you do what you do and declare that you're righteous for it. But we know we keep that same energy, man. That's all we say. Keep that same energy. So when the time comes, there's no getting out of it. When the Most High's designated time, that moment that you can't go past, man, and that's powerful, man. The Heavenly Father, the most powerful being in all of the universe, who created the creation. Hey, you're not gonna go 1 microsecond past your scheduled due date. And like the scripture says, I perceived Satan fall like lightning. You're going to come down like lightning. 1 minute you're going to be on top thinking you won. The next minute you're going to be like, what the hell are these chains around my neck, ankles, and wrist? 1 minute you think you dictating everything to the whole world. The next minute it's going to be dictated to you with extreme prejudice. But you'll get it when you get it. I love the Lord. If loving him is wrong, I don't want to be right. Christians have the dumbest ass philosophy, especially, so-called black Christian. You're following something that your plantation owners gave you to this day, but you think you free, but you still under his his vice, but you think you free. This is 1 John 2, beginning at verse 3, and it reads, "And hereby we do know that we know him," wait for it, "if we keep his commandments." And that needs to be read one more again, just because y'all didn't hear it. They said y'all ain't hear me though. "And hereby we do know that we hear him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him." we gotta read verse 5, just because it has to be allowed to come out. "But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of the Most High perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him." So, again, I always repeat myself when I say this, but Christianity in the scriptures, and one of my fellow brothers, I always say oil and vinegar, but I like what he said when he said salt water and pure water. They can't mix. Seawater and river water, it's not a mix. When the shaking stops, they separate because one cannot be part of the other. It roughly paraphrased what it said. He set the bounds of the sea where it can't pass. One cannot pass over to the other. Christianity can't adhere to the scriptures, and the scriptures can't justify Christianity. It just doesn't. They just don't mix. They don't match. There's nothing about them that comes together and is correct. It's just used as the man from the book of Eli said, it's a weapon. Because truly, that's really all it is. It's a weapon that they use to control the masses, but not according to the will and the law of the Heavenly Father, but according to their own will. There's 613 laws in the scriptures, but there's over 2,000, but you can't keep the laws of the Most High. But if you don't keep their laws, they'll put your butt under the jail or deport you based on your status as to whether or not you were the people that this land was stolen from, and you migrated away from here because of the oppression that your foreparents had to deal with, you know. But either way, you know, or whether or not you were the people that they stole your land, walked you across the country, and then, you know, they still, oh, there's oil on your land, so let me figure out a way to rob and pillage you. You know, just all the things that this devil does in the name of his demon rule. You know, or as the elder Malcolm says, democracy, grenade! Because it truly is a grenade, man. When they throw democracy into your land, guess what? Here comes all of the abominations that go with it. You know, here comes the women's rights, homosexuality, you know, every abominable thing that comes with it. When they toss that grenade into your land, that's what you have to deal with now. You know. And the nations are tired. The nations have had their fill. The only people that still enjoy the things that this devil does without cease and without end, because he's really just given, you know, them a license to commit wickedness, is Israel. Those are the only people that still really, you know what I mean, are into this thing. Only those that the Most High has given the wisdom and knowledge and understanding to come out of this madness. You know, every other than that, man, hey, you want to know why these Christmas holidays have so much oomph? Because, niggas, you celebrate Christmas. You celebrate Easter. You're the ones that keep you go out and spend all of your hard-earned money for it. Spend money that for bills that you don't have. You go spend on this damn day. You know, for one day. But hey, the time is coming, and soon will be, when it ain't gonna keep going. We're gonna read verse 6 and then keep it pushing. And it reads, "He that saith he abideth in him ought himself also so to walk, even as he walked." So the scriptures is clear each and every time, you know. These people claim, you know, the Lord is in me. I chose the Lord. But you don't walk after any of his ways. You claim to know him, but you don't follow his ways, then it's clear you're a liar. And the truth ain't in you. And guess what? You ain't going to change. You're going to keep declaring what you're declaring, and you're going to keep doing what you're doing. You ain't going to change. Because everything you reading, it's being taken out of context for you. You know, and you'll run to your pastor, and he'll tell you some smooth tale, and that's all you needed to hear. Even though you know what you just got out of his mouth was a bold-faced lie, doesn't matter. That's all you needed to hear. That it was okay for you to do what you're doing. No, there's no such thing as unclean food. Okay. You run with that. You know, you run with that. And when the time comes, the Most High gonna smoke your ass. Literally. Not with a gun. He gonna light your ass on fire. He gonna leave you here and melt you. Work that out. Work that out. That's something for another lesson though. We're gonna stay on point, you know. But that, you know, hey, it is really part of the commandment. But again, you know, hey, you people want to do what you want to do. So it's really no, you know, it is what it is. You're gonna do what you want to do because that's your desire, and you're gonna follow your desires every time without failure. No restraint, no control. It's what you want to do, so you're gonna do it. You know, this is back in Psalms 119, and this time we're gonna go to verse 44. Man, I could keep going a little deeper, but wait for it. We're gonna go. We're gonna start at 40, and it reads Psalms 119 and 40, and it reads, "Behold, I have longed after thy precepts." So he's longed to follow the laws, to do what the Most High commanded him to do. Quicken me in thy righteousness. You know, make me of quick understanding. Make me actually keep those laws and precepts that you've given unto me. Allow me to actually keep them. Lead me not into temptation. You know, thou let thy mercies come also upon me, also unto me, O Yahweh, even thy salvation according to thy word. You know, and we need those mercies because, hey, though we may try to do what we can and keep those laws, you know, we transgress, even though it's not, you know what I mean, in our spirit, our bodies and our spirits, they're at war with each other constantly, you know. I believe it was Paul, roughly paraphrasing, that I would do, I do not, and that what I would, that I would, I do not, and that I would not, I do. So, you know, we wrestle with this thing constantly. Constantly. You know, especially in this land of in the land of the shadow of death, everything here is geared and governed for you to go off. You know? Every man's woman is walking around either butt naked or with the stretchy pants on that you can see every curve and manipulation. And a man, a natural man, is going to look upon a woman and have desire. So, bam, right away, I'm looking at another man's woman, whether, you know what I mean, unknowingly or not. And then next thing you know, guess what you just did? In your mind, you considered what you could do with that thing. But this is the place that we live, where iniquity is sold to us as righteousness. And without that mercy, man, we're in complete, we're screwed. Verse 42, so shall I have wherewith to answer him that reproacheth me, for I trust in thy word. You know, and we know that, you know, that the knowledge of this knowledge is foolishness to the world, but they can't dispute it. They can only get mad and walk away, you know, and be upset, or try with the apostle straw man argument, you know, try to deflect, but you can't go against this truth. And take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for I have hoped in thy judgments. Verse 44, so shall I keep thy law continuously forever and ever. And I will walk at liberty, for I seek thy precepts. I will speak of thy testimonies also before kings, and will not be ashamed. So, you know, hey, the time is coming. It's already here. You know, our apostles and elders, man, hey, you know, the nobles, you know, they've been shaking the finger at the nobles. You know what I mean? You know they're hearing them. That's why these nobles are preparing. That's why your boy Zuckerberg, you know, he's building a massive bunker. But, you know, he's not paying attention. He's hearing, but he ain't listening. Because if he was listening, he would know better than to build anything on these shores. You know? Everything here is going to be decimated, utterly destroyed. You know, it's nothing going to be left here. It's going to be desert. It's going to be, man, it's a big desert. When the fire finally dies down, and then, ain't going to be no continued continuity of government. None of that. This place is going to be through, and rightfully so. It's been an abomination. It's been a stink in the nostrils of the Most High. Everything about this whore. Nothing about this place has been right. We're going to go Deuteronomy 4 and 6. Because again, Israel was given this, not the whole world. You can't break something that you've never had. I always enjoy the example that the apostles used to give, that if I sent my kids out with your kids and I told my kids not to do something, am I going to punish yours if they do it? No. I'm going to punish mine. If they follow yours and do some wicked ass shit that I told them not to do, then my kids get punished. You can't break a commandment that you weren't given. But again, you Christians, boy, you're taking it out of context, brother. Funny asses, man. This is Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Gotta read it. For what nation is there so great, who hath the Most High so nigh unto them, as Yahweh our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And this scripture correlates to wisdom and stability. The wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. What is that? The laws, statutes, and commandments. First and foremost, the faith in Yahushua. But if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing according to these statutes, these commandments, this is our wisdom. This is our understanding. This is how we're going to navigate through the times to come, through Jacob's trouble. That surely here, it's already upon us, but it just has yet to truly engulf us. But it's already being made manifest. We're seeing judgment being brought forward. And the Most High brings his judgments forward every day. But we're going to see an unbridled form of judgment come. And all of those that don't have this wisdom and knowledge, and first and foremost, the faith in Yahushua, and first and foremost, that election, are going to be caught up in this madness with no understanding on how to deal with it, how to cope with it, how to navigate through it. You're going to all run and get that MOT to the B, because you're not going to know no better. Because your teachers, those that were guiding you, they weren't sent to guide you, but they were sent to guide you. Because, hey, the 2/3 need somebody to guide them as well. You have to remain in your wickedness. That's just, where it must be. So, man, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the almighty power. Roughly paraphrase, hey, we have no king but Caesar. Hey, you've been brought back to declare that again. and you truly do declare it. You rush after Cesare Borgia like he is a god to you. You know, this is the same. You the same people, man. Again, you know, and again, it's just so many things that you just don't want to accept or believe. It goes against what you want to be able to do. So, hey, you'll deny that can truly, you know, get you out of your condition. But man, it is what it is. But you have to be told. You have to be told. The blood has to be taken and washed off our hands. You know, though we know that, you know, whether you will hear or forbear, it's not on us. You know what I mean? It's not on us to keep repeating. After the first, second admonition, hey, roughly paraphrasing, go on about your day. I'm not going to bid you Godspeed at all. Just, hey, have a nice day. I'm not going to keep sitting there debating with you as to whether or not, you know what I mean, what's what and why. Nevertheless, you're going to get told. So in the time of judgment, there'll be no, oh, I didn't know. No, in the time of judgment, you're going to get that context brought back to you in full strength. Oh, that's the context. Yes, indeed. That is the context. So now you'll no longer be taking it out of context. When judgment rolls on you, you're going to realize, oh, that's, you know, now I got it in context. Continuing on, just a couple more verses, and then we'll wrap this up. You know, we're gonna go back in the New Testament. We're gonna start maybe. Yeah, we'll start at 15. This is John 14 and 15. And it reads, if ye love me, keep my commandments. You know. Again, you know, I love the Lord. Okay. But what about that second half of that? You know, and that's an Edomite Christian mentality that our people have picked up. You know, same as manifest destiny, but you never read the rest of your manifest destiny. Or maybe you would have considered having mercy. Maybe you would have considered certain things that you were doing when you were you know, running through the whole world, and especially running through the world of Israel, devastating, destroying, raping, robbing, and pillaging. You know, stealing, all kind of things. You know, and then committing abominable acts against this people, against, you know, the apple of the Most High's eye. You ooh-wee, you weren't thinking. You were not thinking. You know, and that's really, you know, I could read more, but I mean, why? You're not going to get it. If you can't get this, if you can't get, if ye love me, keep my commandments. If you can't get it, then what are you going to get? There's no part of it that you'll be able to perceive or receive if you can't get this, if you can't understand this. This is New Testament, but in your minds, what? The laws is done away with. Okay. What's the law? The commandments. If you love me, what? Keep my commandments. Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe again we'll do something on this later, but for right now, you're not gonna get it. If you're not getting it, you're blinded. You're being blinded. Your ears are clogged. Your eyes are have gotten, you know what I mean, covered over, and you're not getting that eye salve nor that ear open, and it's not gonna happen. And I can holler it I can go on the roof and yell it, and it's still not gonna get it. but it must be said. It must be said. So, I mean, you get it or not. Get it or not. Romans 7:1. And it reads, Know ye, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth. Again, Yahushua did not die so you could break the law, so you could go against his father. I mean, that's the madness of you Christians. Your father tell you to do something and you don't want to do it, so you don't. But Yahushua and Yahweh, they're on the same page. He came to do his father's will. He didn't come to go against it. The word wasn't made flesh and then changed itself into a whole new word. He gave understanding to the word. He gave the spiritual understanding and not the carnal understanding. But nevertheless, he brought understanding to the word. He didn't change the word. He didn't come born in the flesh and then change everything that the Father said. He fulfilled what the Father said. And that's the law of sacrifice. That now we have a more perfect mediator than originally. Now we have somebody who sits at the right hand of the Almighty. Let me get this one real quick. So, all you people that call yourself calling on the Lord and, I speak to the Lord, the Lord spoke to me. In the midst of your swine sandwich, in the midst of your adultery, in the midst of your wickedness, in the midst of your robbing or stealing from somebody, not paying the person what you owe them, in the midst of all of that, the Lord spoke to me. But he didn't speak to you through his word. You heard John 9:31, and it reads, Now we know that the Most High heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of the Most High and doeth his will, and what is his will? We're going to get that in a moment. Him he heareth. So I'm going to read that one more time. John 9:31, and it reads, Now we know, so we know, that the Most High heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of the Most High and doeth his will, him he heareth. And I know, you're taking it out of context, brother. gonna go one more time. I think I had this already up, but now we know, brethren, for I speak of them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth. Because if you're not following that law, the Most High is not hearing you. Just that simple. Just that simple. It's it's deeper than rocket science, but it's not rocket science, people. And here's the reason why I say what I just said, because it's not rocket science. What does this say? This is let us, Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and do what? And keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. So everything you need to do is right there. Fear the Most High, keep his commandments. That's the whole duty. That's everything. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying to any who may receive it. That the Most High brings you out of the condition that you're in and into his marvelous light. I want to say Tawada Yahweh Shem Shai for allowing me to do another lesson. I want to say Shalom Shabbat for being able to enjoy another Shabbat of the new moon cycle, based upon the new moon cycle, and that he has given me the grace and mercy to celebrate the Shabbat on the Shabbat and have it off. So the water. And just want to say, peace and blessings to all, the elect, the 144,000, the 1/3, man. And with that, I want to close out by giving all praise, honor, and glory once again to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Raha Kwadash. Double honors as always to the apostles and the elders, the bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the 144,000, the hopeful elect. I want to say Shalom. I want to say Shalom Shabbat. And Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.